Hey, Flooring Pros. I'm Jerry Levinson, and this is the Flooring Business Podcast, where we talk to expert flooring dealers, suppliers, marketing experts, and software experts, and anyone who I believe is going to help you in your flooring business. Now, my mission is to give you good information that'll help you reach your goals. If you're just starting your business, or you're trying to reach $5 million in sales, or you're getting ready to sell your business, you're going to find useful information that'll help you reach your goals and profit now in the flooring industry. The Flooring Business Podcast is brought to you by Ring Ring Marketing. Go to ringringmarketing.com and request a free analysis of your website, your area, and your scope of work. They'll make recommendations on how to best strategize your marketing efforts so you get the best return on your investment. You'll even get a coach that helps you get better results. All right. For today's show, I got Ken Ballin on, and he's going to introduce a new concept that I think you guys are going to really love. You own Skyro Floors in Bayville, New Jersey. It's almost a man that doesn't need an introduction because you are so well known in the industry now. And we were just talking about your branding, and that's one of the reasons is just look in this image and the consistency. And I was asking Ken before we got on the show about his branding and was that intentional? And he started telling me, I'm like, no, wait, let's save that for the show because it's kind of interesting. So how did you get to, is this a Ken Ballin brand or a Skyro Floors brand?
It is, well, you know what? It's both. Because what I've started doing is even using it without the name of my company. So whatever I do, it kind of it's me. So whether it's Skyro Floors, whether it's Ballin Knows Best, whether it's anything that I decide to do in the future, the logo is just me.
How's that work with the Sports Center guy who has a very similar logo?
It's funny because I'm not a big sports fan, so I didn't really know who that was. Um, and I think because it's been pointed out to me, obviously,
Yeah,
it's a few times now. But I think his is like the head with the earphones,
yeah, it's a
and
little
and
different.
he's got like the glasses as well. But I think the earphone because he's a sportscaster, right? And then I think there's another one that Steve Harvey has one that's like the bald head and the mustache.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
there's a tile setter on Instagram. I think I'm gonna screw this up and they're gonna hate me for this. I want to say it's the bearded Tyler,
Yeah.
but it's like the face and it's got like the full Viking beard. Like he's got a really impressive like a manly beard that I could never grow. Um, but I think it's kind of cool that people throughout industries have kind of focused on themselves as the face, no pun intended, of their brand,
Yeah.
and whether it's glasses, headphones, beard, mustache, whatever, people see that and they kind of, they make that association.
I'm big
Um,
into that for marketing purposes, and everybody that I work with that works with me is I have them put their photo on the front page of their website. It's like
uh,
people buy from people; they don't buy from companies.
I've said that about our reps too. Like these reps throughout the industry. Some of them change companies every few years, and I've said from the start, I buy from people.
Right.
You know, I'm not loyal to Schluter. I'm loyal to Shannon from Schluter. I'm not loyal to Ardex. I'm loyal to Tom from Ardex. I'm not loyal to Bostic. I'm loyal to John and Dorian and Joe and Dan from Bostic, and
Yeah.
um, just if these people move on to other companies and it's something that I'm, interested in using, I'm going to check that company out because I have that loyalty to these people, and the people always come first.
Yeah. I've always said I'm loyal to me and my customers. And so because I've had a really good Shaw rep leave and says, "Well, I hope you be loyal to Shaw." No, I'm not loyal to Shaw. I'm loyal to me and my customers. And I build relationships with all of them, and in hopes that that's a good relationship and I can get more things done. But
Oh,
absolutely, it is
absolutely.
about the people, not the even the product or the service. It comes down to that person that's going to stand behind you and help you get stuff done. We need those people in the reps in the industry. But this is off topic. This is not. This is the problem with Ken. I mean, and I was even saying that like we could do 12 episodes. I want to try to do an hour show with Ken here, and that's all the show is. It's an hour long. But you could, I mean, we could literally do back to back to back for about 12 episodes, running so many different topics that you can cover.
Yeah, I do run off on a tangent every once in a while. But you were talking about the origination of the logo
Which
and how
wasn't
that.
even a part of this conversation. I just my own curiosity, and I think it's hilarious. Like you're filming that you're working on these stairs and a time elapsed film, and you got those damn glasses on the top of your head. It's like, how is that? And the truth is Ken's really a cyborg, and those glasses are part of his face. It's not. They're not even. It's not an accessory item. It's just he's not real. So that's part of why the AI is working so good for you. We're going to be talking more about that. Um, what got you into the flooring business? Let's start there.
Well, so I had come from retail and I worked my way. I was working full time while I was going to college full time and just got sucked into that retail bug. By the time I graduated college, I have my bachelor's in business admin with a concentration in marketing and an IT minor, and all the jobs that they were hiring for that particular degree when I graduated was like outside sales with office supplies in Center City, Philadelphia. And I was already making double what these entry level positions were offering in retail. I been supervisor and manager now while I'm going through school, and I'd taken advantage of some tuition reimbursement program that the company was offering. So like I just got sucked in.
But now
And
you're a
then
retail
after,
installer, right?
well, so no, 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 no. So working like soft goods retail. So while I was going to school, I was actually working in Old Navy,
Okay.
and Old Navy is owned by Gap Inc. And Gap has tuition reimbursement as long as you're taking business classes. Or they had at the time. I don't know if they
Right.
still do. So I was working, in Old Navy, and then I managed a Pacific Sunwear, and then I moved into Lowe's on the retail side again. And then after Lowe's, I got into installing actually for Lowe's as a installer. I was managing the flooring department, and then moved into installing. And then
That's
one of
hilarious
my
because
buddies,
who moves from retail to installer? Like who does that?
right?
There's
Yeah,
you're probably and that's why Ken's a cyborg. Is
yeah.
He's the only
Well,
person I know that I've got as his transition from retailer to installer.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But like a buddy of mine was an installer for Lowe's and had me on some of his jobs. Like I was just getting started, and we ended up doing like the VP of the company's house, the floors in his house. And he lived like an hour inland. I'm by the coast. He lived like an hour or something inland. And just coming up in conversation, he introduced me and said, "Oh, this is Ken. He's looking to get into, installing for Lowe's." And he said, "Well, what stores do you want? I'll get you in next week." And that was it. I was off. I was, started installing more and,
Yeah.
built my reputation and doing the repairs that needed to be done and being the one that answered my phone when it needed to be answered. And,
Isn't that funny? I mean,
you
it's a
know,
good job though. You like it. You're a
you know,
craftsman.
well, and Lowe's was, in all honesty, the highest paying retailer in the state for a very long
No
time.
kidding. Wow.
We made a lot of money. I was making more money on Lowe's jobs than I was my own jobs.
But what was this?
And I
What
was
period of time
charging.
was this? Uh
So this was '08
oh wait, okay.
until
Early
up
2000s.
until maybe, yeah, I want to say like 12, 14 maybe.
Huh.
But yeah, I made a
Would have never
lot of
guessed that.
money working.
Yeah.
No, no, not at all. And like now it's not because they switched and gone off into a workroom format. They got rid of all us original legacy installers. So,
Yeah.
but that's when I, made the jump to, you know, triple my prices, go after higher end clientele and just start building my brand.
Yeah. That's a interesting transition too. And but like I was saying, that not only the skill, the enjoyment, the work that you're doing, and the money that you can make on it. I mean, we talk about it like it's a shitty job a lot of times, and nobody wants to do that. But I
You know,
it's
and
not it's
that
not
breaks me.
presented in that sexy way. It's not presented in a way that like this is a great opportunity.
Well, and you know what? It absolutely is because, like I said, I love doing it. I wake up in the morning and I get to go set tile.
Yeah.
I get to give these families something that they're going to live their lives on for years to come. I am so thankful and grateful for all the opportunities that I've been given. I mean, I've been all over the country. I've been on TV shows. I've been on podcasts. I've been, you know and I would be nowhere without the contacts that I made throughout the industry.
Yeah, it is the amount of opportunities is astounding in this
It
industry.
is if you make it.
How many different
If you're gonna
directions you can go.
be one of these guys, woe is me, I can't get that, I can't charge that, I can't. Well, you know what? Then you're gonna be miserable. But if you wake up every morning, the sun, every day above ground is a good day, right?
I just did a video about this saying that, there are those I teach and preach, price your showroom, give a quote in the home. And there are many that say that you can't do that. And I said, it's funny. People want to defend their position rather than say, oh, how can I do that?
Rather
That's
than
interesting. I wonder how I can charge higher prices. I wonder how I can do that. So are you more interested in defending your position, or would you be more interested in learning that there might be a better way?
I love the guys and girls that say, "Oh, I could never do that where I live. I can never charge that." And my response is always, "Well, if you think you can't, then you're right. And if you think you can, you're also right."
Right. Yeah. And I just quoted that from Ford. Henry Ford is the one that coined that phrase. If you think you can, or you think you can't, you're probably right. So,
Yep.
you really honed in a niche of doing the showers. How did that come about, and where are you at with that? Are you still getting a lot of shower work? And
Yeah, you know what? Mostly when I started my business, I started out with just doing laminate and hardwood floors. And that was the money shot. That was everything. That was every day laminate and hardwood. And then when I got out of Lowe's, I kind of had to step up my game, and so I'm like, well, I'm gonna start doing tile, and I'm gonna and I've always been of the mindset that I want to take every training and certification opportunity that comes my way. So that's actually why I'm CFI certified to begin with, was because when we were Lowe's installers, they were paying for the CFI certification every year. So I took that damn CFI cert class every single year that it came, regardless if it was the same thing, if it was new material, I took it.
uh,
And I've been, the same kind of thing as I got into the tile industry. I wanted to do all the training, all the manufacturers training. I got my CTI. I've, every single thing that I've seen come through, I've done. The super format, the 5 foot by 10 foot tiles. I've done every training that's come through the state so far. Um, and it's just that thirst for knowledge just motivates me. So I mean, I do mostly bathrooms now. It's mostly custom tile. That's what I enjoy the most.
and
The
it's
things that
funny
I
what
don't
tile
enjoy.
has come from
Oh
being
yeah.
a very cheap product to have and get installed to it's becoming more and more of a luxury item. And there are still
Well,
guys that are $3 4 a foot, and then there's guys that are $28 a foot to install.
absolutely. And I always, every time I find out I'm not the highest priced estimate that the client's got, I know it's time to raise my prices because I want to be the highest.
Yeah. And selling that, do you mind giving me what's an average Ballin shower run? I've been working with a lot and putting them at 14,997 for a 3x5 floor to ceiling shower. And I don't know shit about showers. I just know how to sell and create the presentation based on the expert.
Yeah, and I mean, there's always going to be that in between, that element that you need to kind of consult before giving an accurate price. But I mean, I price my things much differently than probably anybody else, any other installer that you talk to. I don't really use square foot pricing. I'll take an average 3x5, that same 3x5 you're talking about, and I'll start basic labor, only labor, just to slap a tile to the substrate.
Yeah.
I'm going to start that shower at 6K, and I'm going to go up in $500 increments for adding a bench, a deco strip, a small floor, a few shelves. Ceilings are an extra 1,000. If I'm doing custom cutting, like scribing, something fancy, I'll add an extra 1,000 for that. I'll add 3,500 to 4,000 for demo. I'll add 3,000 for setting materials, for thin set, shower system, whatever. And I just use increments and multipliers to get my pricing so I could do it off the top of my head.
I've loved the showers because they're so much easier to market and sell than flooring. And I find there are some things that you can package together. Like we package together the backsplash or the showers. Like I can do a backsplash for $2,800. That's up to 30 feet. Choose any backsplash you want. So I can do a presentation of marketing and sales and quickly sell that product and provide a 5-star experience for a customer. Do the same thing with a shower. The way it's marketed, sold, packaged together, and showers are so much more complicated than flooring. But for some reason, you can package it together and sell it really simply if you understand how. But flooring we haven't been able to do like 3 rooms of flooring. It doesn't make as much sense. I could do 3 rooms of paint, but 3 rooms of flooring has been, that hasn't gone together, like creating that marketing message that just hits people between the eyes.
Don't have a standard shower is 3x5. There is no standard room of flooring.
Right.
So like I'll use, and depending on what I'm pricing, I'll compare it. I have square foot rates for different flooring types that I install, and then I have my day rate. So I'll compare which is higher and go with that number based off the measurements.
So, but by the time you're done, a lot of your showers have more detail than the customer was expecting just because of your suggestions, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
And so what do you suppose an average 3x5 is running?
I'm usually, I've been around, I'm gonna say lately 15 to 18,000.
I had one client in Minnesota that we ran the same special for, and he said all of his showers are running between 19 and 20,000 because we advertised the 14,997. By the time he gets in there, there's more work, they're bigger, there are things that upgrades and things that people want that have gravitated the price up. But they're closing all those jobs. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I know, well, I'm probably neck and neck of that after they buy the tile.
Yeah. So let's get into the your new brainchild, Ballin Knows Best. How did this come about? And where did you start developing this? And tell us a little bit about, first of all, how did that come about?
Well, so I've been, if anybody is still watching this, it's because they probably know me. They know that I have I've been involved in the online communities for flooring and tile for quite some time now, in our Facebook groups and everything like that. And I've always been big on the community, on connecting people, on getting, the guys that are looking for jobs outside of installing, like on the rep side, connecting them with the companies that are hiring, um, showing installers the training opportunities that are available within the industry, and that there are other people out there that are going through the same stuff, that they're not alone. There's a community that new installers can rely on. And it's important to develop these new installers who may just be stumbling through. They picked up some tools. They said, hey, I'm kind of good at this. Maybe I'll start, charging people money for it. And, they may not know how many resources are actually out there for them. So I've always been focused on building that community. My partner on the project, Ballin Knows Best, is Jason Potts who is a big fan of AI and writing technology. So he called me a little over a year ago at this point, and he said, "Hey, man, I've got this idea, and it's this AI integrated, chatbot that can answer questions from the job site. What do you think?" And I said, "That sounds awesome. I'm in." I said, right off the bat, I said, "I'm in. What can I do?" So we've kind of he's written the tech and he's developed it, and we teach it. It's not just unguided AI running rampant, ready to take over the world. Um, you submit your questions, and I can see the questions coming in, and I give it a thumbs up, a thumbs down. We teach the tech as the inquiries come in, so that we can guide it and teach it, and it's learning based on how we respond. Um, that's just one small part of the Ballin Knows Best site because, like I said, I've always been focused on the community, and my biggest thing is developing this community around Ballin Knows Best and the AI integrated tools that we have. And it's more than just AI. It's a place to get questions answered. It's a resource center. If you're not getting questions answered by the bot itself, we have a team of mentors that specialize in different areas of the industry in all floor coverings that can, assist you further. We've got all their social media stuff up and posted so you can see what they're working on.
I think the
We've got
messaging and the marketing is needs to be a little bit different in that it really isn't AI at all. And I interviewed Jason last week, and it was funny how little we did talk about the AI. And we were talking about things like, and we go to what you're doing for customers, and by attracting more customers for them, being a resource for information, helping them grow their business. AI is just a tool, just
And
like,
that's exactly it. It's all about the community.
yeah,
AI is a tool that we're using. So, and we're, developing websites for installers that are also AI integrated. But we're not just a lot of these marketing companies. You give them your content and it's theirs. They hold it ransom. We're teaching installers to be in charge of their own digital assets, to not just hand over stuff to these companies. We're going to teach you how to add to your website. We're going to teach you how to post it to your social media and how to integrate all this together to build your brand like we've built ours. It's important to get these installers on board and be in control of what they're doing, not just handing it off to, some random company that may or may not have their best interests at heart.
yeah. Well, and I wanted to talk to you about sponsorship too, and see if there's a place for me in this. Is I'm not as much into the installer world, but I love working with the installers when they want to transition to retail, and maybe get off their knees. So the ones that are looking to grow their business and
Yeah, so we have a section on the website that is for job postings, industry postings. So if flooring retailers are hiring, they can post. If manufacturers throughout the industry, if they're looking for reps or tech or whatever, they can post the job opportunities. There's so much that we can include on this, and it's just important to keep everybody on the same path. When one person succeeds, we all succeed. And I just want to see every flooring installer out there succeed.
so let's talk about who your target market is in this. Ballin knows best. Is your target market the installer? Are you looking for the installer world? Who are you going
So,
to attract the most?
when the word target market in my mind means who am I after um, for finances? So I'm after sponsors for the site because it's entirely free to installers. The only thing that installers pay for on the site is if they buy a website. Um,
Well, no, I'm talking
Everything
about not for that part. Who is the person that is going to the website?
else to
Who's
use it.
who's your audience? Who are the people you're talking about?
Ideally everybody in the industry and everybody looking to get into the industry. I really want it to be a resource for all installers. I would love to see enough users on the site to at some point have buying power with health insurance, to kind of
Do you
cover
remember
all.
when
Yeah.
Jason did his thing with the installers where he kind of he created this portal and it didn't work out. It was a lot of work and didn't really work out for him. But he created a portal that one was for the retailer looking for an installer and one was for the installers looking for work. And
Yeah.
this
Yep.
the thing that I mean immediately, and this is brand new, so what you've done so far is fantastic. Um, and one thing you talk about in your video and all that is helping the installers get more work and get more work from the retailers. So those additional components I could see developing over time is, yeah, helping them get started with their business, getting the LLC, getting set up, who's the suppliers, who are those things, and that's something I could be a good resource for if we work together on that. But definitely for the retailers, hey, I'm looking for an installer that specializes in this to be able to go there and understand that that's a good resource for them to use to find installers.
Oh, absolutely. Now, I mean, I don't want to, I know there's a few others that are doing something similar, so I don't necessarily want to ride on anyone else's coattails. But there's definitely an aspect of that. And that may not be something that we run. It may be something that we partner with somebody to kind of have a cohesive relationship
Yeah.
to develop, you know? But I mean,
And
we're always open to opportunities and inquiries, and if it's something that isn't in our wheelhouse but would benefit our users, then I'm absolutely open to those discussions.
yeah, I was talking to Jason yesterday and he was talking about a thing for he wants to develop and grow AFS into a bigger brand that's doing 1 billion a year. And I think they're at 300, 350, a million right now. But he was talking about acquiring companies or doing something to help flooring dealers that want to get out. And one thing I did inform him of, I said, Jason, my audience, my wheelhouse is the guys under 5 million. I'm really I really work best with the guys that are starting up to the guys doing about $3 million, and I'm
Yeah.
helping them grow. And I just wrote a book where my last chapter is how to scale to 5 million. He's looking for those companies doing 8, 10, 12 million and more, but it's like my audience, my wheelhouse. So even when I ask you about your target audience, there's a place for everybody in there, but then there's people who will benefit the greatest from Ballin Knows Best. So first that starts off with the installers, right? And you're
Yep.
you're on all those forums to get in with the installers.
Yep. Now, and well, the other thing is that we can develop this into our own social media platform where if something happened, all these installers are in the Facebook groups, and if something happens tomorrow and Facebook shuts down, Instagram shuts down, all these people are stranded. They don't have the resources that, we've developed. So if we develop our own social media platform and give installers a place that we own, that we're in control of, then we can kind of guarantee that availability of information carries on.
Yeah, that's really smart. I mean, it's something I've thought about a lot lately because I did have Facebook shut down one of my posts on tile money where it was kind of,
One
well,
of the spam.
you just posted that just to get likes and to get people to click on your site. Well, okay, yeah.
And
Okay. Is that wrong? I mean, you have a like button
accountability.
there. It was so bizarre and it's scary. And it's scary what Google can do to you and what Facebook can do to you. And these platforms are so great and so powerful,
Oh,
but
yeah.
yeah, they can shut you down.
Well, you know what? 95% of my business comes from Facebook right now. So if Facebook shuts down tomorrow, guess what? I'm out looking for work.
Yeah. Or they shut down because somebody complained that they don't like your glasses, like you're making fun of a certain race of people or something. You're making fun of cyborgs. How dare you? They can say you're making fun of bald white people. They won't care about that. So,
No.
um, but yeah, it is a threat, and the platform is fantastic. And one of the things that we have a lot of our clients doing is shooting videos and putting that content. And the thing I think is really cool about, oh, I lost you. The thing that's really cool about the tile industry is the work is cool and it's entertaining. And as you guys show the work that you're doing, it's easy to sell. And it's easy to show people the work that you're doing and sell these concepts. How much free advertising do you get? How much leads do you get that were from no spend? You just organically got the leads.
Oh, all of my work, entirely all of. I don't boost posts. I don't pay for online marketing. Everything, there's a lot of techniques that I use that I know obviously wouldn't work in other markets, but like I'm mainly in a tourist market. So a lot of my clients depend on the neighborhood Facebook groups for recommendations. They're not, it's not, I have very little word of mouth because they're second and third homeowners, mostly tourists. Some of them don't even talk to their neighbors. So they can go on to these Facebook groups, ask for a recommendation, and I have it. I have the alert set. So anytime somebody posts in this one group, like I get the alert, I see the post, and I can respond with the same copy and paste answer. Hey, so and so, I'm Ken from Skyro Floors. I do this. Here's my links to my social. Give me a shout if you have any questions. I'll be happy to take a look at your project.
Yeah.
95% of my work.
Yeah. And it's funny how many people won't do the free, and your business isn't so different. You got the tourists, but these groups are powerful. And we have one here, Go Gilbert, and there's just, every single day there's somebody asking who does flooring,
Oh,
but even
absolutely.
on their own personal social media, just to be posting again, free content. That's something I've been pushing a lot is like, you don't need to pay a lot of money for marketing. Now, I
Oh,
think if you're going to try and get to 5 million a year, you need that paid advertising. You're going to need to do SEO, pay-per-click advertising, but the paid social media doesn't work near as well as the free social media does.
oh, absolutely. No, you need to become that resource. I tell installers this all the time. You don't have to post your work. You don't have to talk about flooring all the time. Be the resource for that neighborhood group that says, "Oh, my friend's a painter. He does awesome work. You should call him. Oh, my buddy's a plumber. He does all
Yeah.
my projects. Be that resource and build your brand because it doesn't. They're going to think of you as a contributing member to the community before they even think of you as a business owner. And that's important.
And we got a gal in Utah I was working with, Jody, that we did a segment called Jody Recommends. So every week she goes to another business owner and interviews them, and she wears a shirt, Jody Recommends. So she's the resource. And it's like, well, if Jody's recommending these people, who are they going to recommend for one? And what I love about that strategy is you don't have to say anything about yourself. If you're
Nope,
saying
not at
this
all.
is a good person of good character and I trust them, well, then you're probably a good person of good character who could be trusted. So what you say about other people reflects back on you. And a great strategy that's free, 100% free.
Absolutely. That's all.
So some of the things that we talking about as I was going through the your video on the website, and it's ballinknowsbest.com, simple as that, was you help the installers with marketing, and so you can help them generate a website. And I've seen the stuff that he's done, what Jason has done for a few websites. And I did test out some of the AI stuff because I'm a little bit anti-AI just because so many people are pushing it for customer interfacing, which
Yeah.
I don't agree with using it for that. But the stuff he had was really good. I was impressed. And
Yep.
not only was it working good, that it seemed like whoever's business it was, you still had your hand on the steering wheel. So you were approving or disapproving the response.
Mhm.
And the
Yeah.
speed that the response came in was slow enough that it looked like it was human generated, not AI generated.
that took a little fine tuning, but yeah, that's exactly you're exactly right. But I think the majority of people, when you go to a website and you see a bot pop up, you already know it's an AI chatbot. Like it's so commonplace now that nobody is going to be surprised that there's a chatbot on any website. It's just it's everywhere right now. So
My only
like,
suggestion is doing something I think would be kind of charming, but saying that, hey, this is AI Ken. I'm pretty smart. I can answer most of your questions and get you scheduled on an appointment. But if you want to talk to human Ken, he's a great guy. I can get him on the line for you. So, and I think if
I like
you gave people the option, they would say, huh, I wonder how good this is. So just for fun, I'm going to test out that AI and see how
you
good
know
it
what?
is.
I like that idea a lot. I
Yeah.
think that's
And
good.
because just think about it as a customer when you call the bank or something, and how many times you're like, representative, representative, talk to a representative. I'm tired of talking to you.
Everywhere now. Like I pulled up to the drive-through at Taco Bell the other day, and the first response was this girl, and it was, "Are you using your Taco Bell rewards today?" And I'm like, "No, no, I'm not." And then you hear this deep man's voice, "Hey, what can I get for you?" I'm like, wait, what happened here? What?
That's actually clever. I like that. No, it is clever, and I don't think any of us are so busy that we can't handle. Although when you guys, again, you can tee it up properly. I'm actually the installer. I do the work, so I'm busy working on a brand new shower right now. So we're going to try to answer your questions best as we can.
It's all about communication, but it's the same with anything, whether it's AI or how you interact with people. It's how you communicate. If you set yourself up and are fully, honest right up front, it's not a surprise when you tell that customer,
Right.
this is going to be this much, or I'm scheduled out this far, or, whatever AI responses come up as well. And it's just about being open and honest all the time.
Well, and I do think though that people would rather talk. They feel kind of stupid talking to a computer and want to talk to a human. In some cases, they at least want that option. So even if the computer, the AI, can answer all the questions correctly, which is, I think it's interesting. Though when I'm looking for human interaction and I get a computer, I'm turned off. But if I have questions, I'll do a Google search, which I know a computer's answering that. That doesn't bother
Yeah.
me. But if I call
Yeah.
your store, kind of want to talk to you. So, and I even did it where we had an answering service. And one of the things I found that was a turnoff to people was the answering service didn't know all the answers to the question. And they pretend like
Yeah.
they are us. So they made us look stupid. So I had the answering service answer the phone. This is answering service for Carpets of Arizona. How can I help you? So tell them up front, this is an answering service. Oh, and if they ask and you don't know the answer, I'll get somebody for you. We are an answering service. Let them know, because otherwise
Yep.
we sound stupid.
We have a verbal version of the Ballin Knows Best bot that we're kind of playing with, and it can call you and carry a conversation as me. Like we've cloned my voice; it would be me and sounds like me and everything like that. That you kind of get the last time I messed with it, there was kind of a funny little delay. So I was like, okay, there's the flag right there. You can tell that it's not actually me. Um, but we added a function to the bot on the site where instead of typing, you can talk to it because
Yeah,
I want the site to be all inclusive, and not everybody is able to text as quick as I can. Not everybody, is the best speller or whatever, and I don't want them to ever feel left out, like they can't use one of our resources because of that. So
right.
if you would rather talk to the bot instead of typing your question in, we can handle that.
Yeah. Okay. So we're talking about marketing. And after talking to Jason, it's just you guys are providing a very inexpensive resource for installers.
That's
and
the plan.
retail companies too. So I know you got Matt on board. So uh, talk a little bit about, if you can, SEO and pay-per-click, SEO, search engine optimization. So let's just talk about that first. Do you know how much do you know about search engine optimization? Or
So, so I am the face,
okay,
and Jason handles the tech.
okay,
I know I understand, the general concepts. I'm much more. My background is much more obviously on the marketing end than the tech end of things. But he's got, he posted a tool on the website, and we kind of moved some things around like a few hours ago. But it was right on the page, and it was the SEO keyword generation, and an installer could type in a keyword. And the one that I did was just playing with it. I typed in bathrooms, and it brought up all the statistics on the Google searches in my area of, what is, if there's a lot of competition for this term, and if
yeah.
there's how often these clicks come through. And it was interesting to see, the keywords that you can plug into this and what the site spits out as far as statistics are concerned. So if you're using these words, you can, cycle through and don't waste your time on ones that aren't, beneficial to you. But he's got a few different tools like that we've got on the site that, again, it's putting that power into the installers so they can see that dashboard and see what's working for themselves. They're not relying on a third-party marketing company that's holding their content ransom.
So here's what the advice I would give somebody that's doing that gets the website from you guys is to focus on the search engine optimization, which isn't very expensive, and as part of it you could do it yourself because they'll show you how to manage it. But for the guy that's the installer that's doing 500,000 to $1 million a year, or under 500,000 even, that's all they're going to need. If you have a retail store, you're going to open up, between the search engine optimization, doing some Facebook videos and some advertising on your personal profile, not your business profile. That's all the advertising you really need. A little bit of
Yeah.
referral marketing, things like that. You don't really need to spend money on advertising. As you grow, if you're going to have a retail store, you're going to have salespeople, and you want to grow this business to 1.5, 3 million, $5 million, then you're going to be starting to get into pay-per-click a lot more. So you want your opportunities. You need more opportunities. So, but again, with the Facebook advertising, that's free. There's no reason you guys should be spending a lot of money on advertising. Just shoot the damn video. Installation
Absolutely.
advice. Another thing that I thought was really interesting, and I think it comes up a lot in our forums, and the old pros always get frustrated by it, especially when a beginner is asking what most perceive as a stupid question, but they had the
The
balls
only
to get on there and ask the question. Yeah. So, but that's a service that you're providing in there. Is a lot of the answers in there AI generated, or are they talking to Ken?
Well, so if they're entering the if they're entering their questions into the bot, it's the AI that's responding. Now, if I see the AI giving out a response that I don't like, or I notice that it needs a little more oomph, I can jump in myself into the text thread and respond. And I usually I would say, "Hey, this is Ken. That answer is semi-correct, but not really what you need for your situation. You should do this, 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 and this, or contact this person here, and they'll be able to walk you through whatever."
And you can help them with the resources like CTI and the organizations
Right.
that can help the installers get better. Where that one of my criticisms of them is a lot of people just don't even know about them. They don't know that resource is out there.
No, absolutely. And everything, we've trained it on, it retains that information and learns from it. Um, so, it is recommending following manufacturer specs. It's recommending getting certified. It's recommending being involved in the industry and, doing training and all these things that I feel passionately about. We've programmed the bot to also be passionate about.
How about and one of the other things you mentioned was tools. You help people with tools. So how about to go a little deeper? How about sales strategies? Do you help anybody with how to sell?
Well, so anything that, and I mean, the Ballin knows best aside, for me personally, my inbox is constantly filled with installers and asking questions about installation and running business, and I'm always making it a priority to help other installers. That's my focus. It's
Right.
always has been, it always will be. I want to see every installer get to where we're at. Get they're I again I know it sounds cheesy, but like there's a community here. You are part of this community, whether you know it or not. And I want you to know about all these resources that are out there. So, if me and my marketing abilities are going to help you, I'm going to step up and help you with that. If, Matt Garcia can help with, the hardwood staining and refinishing and all that, he's going to step up and, help that. If we've got Spanish speaking installers, we've got Oscar, our Spanish speaking mentor, who can step in and help in those situations as well. It's all about building everybody up and not leaving anybody behind. So I want this to really be a resource for all installers to, in all aspects of their career, and just, have a place that they can go to when they need help.
In I might be a jerk for saying this. I only want to help those that want to improve. I don't want to lift everybody up because everybody doesn't want to be lifted
But
up. Some
if
people
they
are
don't want
satisfied
to
with
be, if they
bitching
don't
and
want
complaining.
to, well, and if they don't want to improve, they're probably not looking at a website with my face on it.
Right? Okay, fair enough. Um, the a huge topic that comes up all the time. What about pricing? Do you help them with pricing? What should you be charging? And
Absolutely.
I see you answer the question as a retailer, and it's not realistic as somebody doing it for a retail store to charge the same
Absolutely.
that you're charging a retail customer.
And that's the first thing that I tell everybody that asks me about that. I say, don't match my numbers, match my mindset. It's okay to be the highest price guy in the room if you're offering the quality that'll back that up. If you're an installer that's subcontracting for a retailer, you're not going to get those rates. But there are trade-offs. For every installer has different things that make them successful. If you're an installer that enjoys going to work for a store and you're a sub, and your bills are paid and you're happy and your family is healthy and happy, then you know that's a win.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what Ken Ballin is charging if you are charging what it takes to be happy.
People have told me that, oh, you're for the retailer, you're not looking out for the installer, and telling me that like I would want to take advantage of the installer if I could. And the funny thing is I've never made recommendations to pay installers lower or what rate they should be paying installers. It's really not my business to tell people what they should be paying, and I don't make a practice of telling them that. But I've gotten in, and that's seemed to die down a lot. But I get irritated when the installers bitch about the prices, and the reason I get irritated is because I'm like, well, okay, what have you done about it? Are you complaining
Well, they
about it?
accept it. Getting low rates, that's because you accept it.
Yeah.
If you charge what I'm charging, it's because you're accepting lower rates. Don't accept it and you won't be victim of it.
Now, if I don't want to lift that guy up, but if he called me and asked me how he could charge more, absolutely, I'm going to talk to him and tell him, call these companies, lay out a presentation of why you're better, charge this price, tell them what you charge, show them
Oh,
the
definitely.
benefits of using you. There's a lot of way that the installer can make more money, but in order to make more money, they have to be
They have
interested
to.
in doing it. Yeah, right. If they don't want to, then it's not going to happen.
Can't
And
fly.
bitching and complaining about it's never going to work. Well,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason that retailers don't pay installers more money, that's always been so misunderstood. The reason that installers don't or retailers aren't paying more money is because they're not charging enough money, because they're intimidated by the competition. they're trying to get work and they believe the only way they can get it is by being cheaper. So if the retailer doesn't learn how to charge more prices, he's never going to be able to pay that installer more money.
Mhm. That's why they cycle through them so often. They go through this group of guys. This group of guys gets, sick of being taken advantage of and they skedaddle. And then they hire new guys that are, aren't aware of what's going on.
Yeah, but the installers, more than money, they want to be kept busy. And I've seen so much evidence of that where you can offer an installer more money, but they'll never leave a busy shop for more money because they have a fear of not being busy. And
I'm
I'm
kind
talking
of,
about dramatically more money.
I'm kind of the opposite mindset where I want to be less busy and make more. I don't want to work so much. I want to make more money, work less.
And it's always guys like you that are fighting for the installers, but that's because you've transitioned into more of a retail establishment. So you see that and you see what can be done. And you're fighting for this guy that isn't even fighting for himself.
Well, and my hope is that it's just because they don't know better, not because they're refusing to know better.
Yeah. Well, and again, we have those forums, and you created a whole brand new forum for them to know better. That information is out there. So if they have the desire to do better, make more money, learn the trade and be better at it, improve their skill. Um, because I even argue that it's not your skill that commands more money. It's not about being good. It's about being good at presenting your skill and selling your
Absolutely.
skill well.
Absolutely. I'm no more talented than the next installer. I don't have better hand skills than any of them. I can sell ice to an Eskimo, though.
Yeah. Well, the complexity of tile installations is, it should command more money. And when you're done, if you do a good sales presentation, somebody should be afraid to not hire you. You know,
Mhm.
they should be afraid of somebody that gives a quick estimate with no explanation of the work being done.
What's a high liability install?
Yeah. I got into that a lot with sand and refinish. It, and oftentimes people misunderstood. When I talk about the business as being very easy and you don't have to be very knowledgeable to be successful. And that's mainly in carpet, luxury vinyl, and laminate. But when it comes to hardwood and tile, yeah, you got to know more. You got to be smarter,
Oh, yeah. Yep.
and you should
Totally.
command more money. Those trades should be looked at. I can't believe how many people provide sand and refinish as if they're painting drywall.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a good topic, a good highlight topic on your forum, would think would be about how to command higher prices. I'd love to see that.
And I always, and I did just start the Ballin Knows Best Facebook group because I know some of us are clinging to Facebook. So, we have that presence there where we can, share ideas and everything. Mostly it's to share what we're working on at Ballin Knows Best with new features and, new tools and stuff like that. But the idea is that the same premise that we've developed through, all these other groups kind of rolls through. It's an ongoing theme with us is helping installers that getting them to charge what they're worth, to market the easiest way for them, and just have a safe spot that they can rely on.
Yeah. Um, Marketing's such a fascinating topic to me in that I'm always curious about what message are you using that attracts the most people. So if the message is to learn more about installation and I do think two or three specific bullet point messages will work better than all encompassing, like here you can come here to find anything. But I do think one of those messages would be about pricing, installation advice, pricing, and marketing uh, would probably be your three hot topics, maybe tools too. I don't know. But it'd be interesting just to see. And one of the other things that's fascinating about the Facebook group that you started is how everybody that's coming on is introducing themselves and giving their
Yeah.
background, which you were even saying, why are you guys doing that? because it says
I didn't
so in
even
the
realize
introduction. And
that,
you're like, oh, I didn't know it
I
did
didn't
that.
realize that there was a prompt, and I'm like, did I miss something? Because the last thing I ever want to do is spam anybody. So
Yeah.
my concern was that people were getting some sort of obnoxious message like, you need to introduce yourself to be allowed in the group. And then somebody sent me a screenshot and it's just like a little prompt when you first get in. But I was so nervous. I was like, no, that's not what I want to do. Stop that.
Yeah, but it worked out really well. It's good because it gets
Yeah, yeah.
people engaging more and introducing themselves. And, you probably don't think of yourself as this way, but you got that fan base. You got that base of people that just know you and like you and are attracted to you and want to come to that group. You know,
Well,
you're you're not a whore like I am.
it's just that I maintain that brand integrity. I feel like I've kind of stuck to my laurels and been very consistent throughout my career, and I just want to continue that. And we'll use that group to post new stuff that we're working on. And I mean, Jason's got the species checker for the hardwood floors, so like you hold your phone at the whatever floor is installed, and it'll tell you what species it is. He's got we've got a layout tool that we're working on, so you can adjust your shower walls to avoid slivers.
Hmm.
You've got the Measure It app that utilizes the LiDAR sensor that you can, scan your phone across somebody's house and it spits out the measurements in 3D for you. So, I mean, there's all sorts of exciting stuff that we're building that, we'll be sharing there and on the website and everything.
Well, like to talk to you guys in the future about maybe doing a webinar or something that I call it GOIC, and it's get off your knees. So it's for the people that want to transition from installer to retailer. And I love working with them because it's so complicated to make that transition. The prices you have to charge are so much higher, and you have to
Yeah,
trust people to do work that you can do better yourself. So there's a lot of nuances to transitioning from installer to retailer, and it's more complex than somebody new entering the business. Um, so I enjoy working with those guys and showing them, yeah, how to be successful running a retail showroom now,
nice, nice.
and how to
There's
enjoy the
room for
business.
everybody in this space. There's not, I don't, even in my own business, I don't think of anybody as competition. You're just part of the network. If you choose to be, if you want to be in my circle, you're welcome to be in my circle. You don't have to be in my circle by any means, but like once a year, we throw Jersey night over here, and we've got installers from all around. We've got reps from all around comes in, and we just hang out and you know have dinner, drink beer, talk shop, and it's not nobody's competition. They're just part of the circle.
I like that. I like that. I'm working with a guru now that a marketing guy that this Friday we're having a fly-in, and I thought, man, I like that idea. So I think something like that for even my clients to say, hey, let's fly in. You want to spend the day together? Let's fly in, no cost. Just let's come hang out and talk shop.
Absolutely.
So do that at surfaces, but it's so Vegasy. Getting tired of surface. I like surfaces. I hate Vegas.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm with you there. If we could have surfaces in Jersey, that'd be great.
I love the NWFA in New Orleans, but after hanging out in New Orleans a couple of days, I thought, oh, this place is a dump too. It was awful. I mean, it was a sexy town. I was like, oh, it's nice to get out of Vegas, but New Orleans was awful. We need some beautiful towns to have events in.
Everyone's in Atlanta. I was like, Atlanta? Really? I said, oh, here.
I'm having mine in Orlando, Florida next month, my workshop. And somebody even said I would never go into Orlando. You couldn't pay me enough. I'm like, Orlando, Orlando's pretty nice, isn't it? So been there. I was just there. I just did a road trip through there, and I
I'll
like
take Orlando.
I love Florida. So all right. Well, this was great, Ken. I appreciate it, and good luck with Ballin Knows Best. I know it's already getting growing like a wildfire, and great
Took some
brand.
time.
So fun to watch what you and Jason are up to, and see you helping out the little guy, the installers, the backbone of the industry.
Absolutely. That's our goal.
Yeah, no, you're doing a great job. Appreciate it. And, one day it surfaces, I'd love to see you shake your hand and knock those damn glasses off your head.
Absolutely. I look forward
We need
to
some
it, my
video of
friends.
that. You can give me a pair of glasses.
Absolutely.
Ken Ballin, cyborg. All right, man. Sounds good. Thanks for coming on. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, man. Good one.
Thanks for joining the Flooring Business Podcast. Now, if you'd like to have a one-on-one discovery call and learn how you can increase your profit and sales by over 30%, go to jerrylevinson.com and let's discuss where you're at and where you want to go. Don't forget to tune in next week where we have another great podcast with another flooring pro.